Welcome back to TruckU. Now that's always a blast working with the kids, but those of you that are parents, you fully understand these kids are going crazy now. They're ready to go outside. They've been cooped up for a while. They're ready to play, so we need to get this stuff together, man.
Now, as you can see, we've got the new motor here, and it's a little bit of an upgrade of the one we took out. First of all, this one's going to run. That's a good thing.
Right.
Two, it's got a half horsepower more than the one we took out. Now, that when you're thinking half horsepower, what is that? Well, the first one was only 5. This is 5.5. So you're thinking about, what, about a 10%?
10%.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So hopefully he'll feel it underneath his foot when he steps down on the gas pedal. Also, we went with an upgraded clutch here, and I think you'll notice a difference as well because Matt's got some horror stories about that.
This is a good idea. I know you've been ragging on me about this, but you know, Colton's had one of those buggies for a couple of years now. And when he was first learning how to drive, I mean, it was a natural tendency for the kid to put one foot on the brake, one foot on the gas, push them both down as hard as you can. The motor's revving up. It's not going anywhere. He's laughing. I'm over there pulling my hair out going, you can't do that because the clutch is burning down to the ground. You know, so finally I get him taught, okay, the same foot does the gas, then you pull it off, and then you hit the brake with that. Well, once he learns that and he becomes a pretty good driver, now his friends want to drive the buggy, and they're burning the clutches down, so more stress in my life. This is made specifically to deal with the heat. So this is going to put
that didn't even affect you.
Listen, there's been a little bit of counseling involved, but I'm okay now. I'm on like step 11, but this is definitely going to help.
Now, what it is a centrifugal clutch, and I want to show you guys, it's pretty neat how these things work if you've never seen it before. Now, this is going to act as kind of like our pressure plate for our clutch. So what you've got is basically a set of weights held together by some springs. So it rides right on your crankshaft. It'll go inside like this and spin freely when the motor idles, so nothing's being engaged. But as centrifugal force kicks in when you start to get into the throttle and the motor revs faster, these weights, you can see them here, they'll move back and forth, they'll actually expand out. When they expand out, they'll grab this plate and lock it up, and when it locks it up, it'll actually drive the rear wheels on the back of these teeth of the gear. So it's a pretty neat deal. You lift off the throttle, the weights suck back down in, and it freewheels.
This is a cool clutch too because it's upgradable. You can actually change these springs out there and make them a little bit different and set them up a little bit more custom. So if it's a kid driving it, you know, as the kid grows and changes driving experience, you can change the clutch right along with them.
One thing I want to show you guys, there is a right and wrong way to put it on. Now, obviously, you've got a keyway that'll slide here on the crankshaft, but you want to make sure that it sits down inside the outer ring like this. If you have it the other way, it'll actually come out halfway and the clutch won't lock up.
Yep.
It'll slip all the time and it'll burn it up. So that goes on like that. There we go.
I could have used 24 of these.
Hey Matt, I forgot to tell you, my favorite feature of this engine is the fact that it comes with an oil alert. So it's almost idiot proof. You know, this way if you can't find the fill on either side of the engine, he's going to be covered.
You know, we ought to give him some detailed step-by-step instructions too, maybe. But of course, you know, I say this and that guy's keeping us in business, so how bad is that?
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to make too much fun of him.
Yeah, the detailed instructions, fill with oil, check regularly.
All right. So you good?
Yeah, I think we should be good right there. I'm going to put the plug back in.
We can get this over there in place, put some gas in it, and fire this baby up.
Go ahead, you do the heavy lifting this time.
Right. Yeah, how come? I feel like I'm always doing that. Let's get this.
That's funny.
Get that in there. Now we can wrap that chain around on the clutch.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yep.
And we'll just use that old motor mount. Holes are there, and we're good. Before we go any further, we need to make sure that everything lines up. And I've got the motor kicked over to the side as far as I can. So if you look back here at the chain, you see where it hooks. Good. Yeah, the top to the bottom sprocket right there, that chain's kicked way out to the side, and that's not going to work, or work for long anyway.
No, you can feel it's already putting a load on, and that's not a good thing, just turning it by hand. So what you're going to probably end up doing is you'll break this sprocket, either the top or the bottom, and you run the risk of actually breaking or damaging the end of the crank, which is going to damage the entire engine. And for what you've got in it, then you've got to replace the whole thing, so we're starting over again. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel here because it looks like the guy had previously offset this wheel with some makeshift spacers. I think if we remove one, we might be okay.
Here, let's get this chain off.
Wait, hold on, let me zip this first.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right. I got this tipped up about as far as I can.
Look at you. You're the man.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
All right. Now, you called it, the makeshift spacers. He's got a triple stack of nuts right there, okay? So that's the deal. Now, if time was not such an issue, we would probably make some more appropriate spacers for that. But we got to get this thing outside and keep those kids happy. Happy kids make happy adults. So in the interest of time, I think what we'll do is just get in here, pop one of these out, get it out of the way, move this in, and it should line up just about right.
Yeah, I think that'll give us the right offset.
Okay.
Now that Matt went ahead and changed our offset, I think we're going to be all right.
That should line up perfectly because I
Should
did
I take your word for it?
You should, actually.
All right.
I did a visual inspection. It looks perfect, right?
Love the visual inspection.
All right, get that on there. Let me know when you're ready and I can tip this back. So I just put the one spacer behind the sprocket and kicked it in about 1/4 of an inch. And look at that. She's lined up perfect now.
Yeah, that looks pretty good, man.
Exactly what we want. Okay, now we can tighten down this engine and get that in place, and we're good.
All right, so we got everything lined up. Our sprockets are in line, the chain's on, engine's tightened down. Put fuel in it, wheels tightened down. Now it's just time to pull away, baby.
Ignition on, fuel on, choke on. You ready?
Yep. Oh, you got the magic touch.
That I do.